Hello motorcycle enthusiasts. Today I'll show you how to properly reassemble the carburetor of a Suzuki GS500F. What tools do we need for this? We need a 14mm combination wrench, also an 8mm combination wrench, a Phillips screwdriver size PH2, various flathead screwdrivers in different sizes, needle nose pliers, and silicone spray for assembly, which works really well. He forgot to tell you in the list of tools that we also need a thin fuel hose. We also want to check if the channels here are open, and we will start here. Here, the jet is screwed in, which allows the fuel for the choke to pass through. The choke is out, so I have disassembled it here again. The carburetor was actually already finished. I wanted to show you that. So you fit the hose precisely here and blow through it. And then you will hear that the air can escape on the choke side. That means it's fine. And please do the same here at these two openings. Here the carburetor gets air for the nozzle assembly of the main jet and the idle jet. So it is pre-mixed with air, so to speak. And if you simply fit the hose precisely here, you can blow through it and also hear that the air escapes there. Okay, let's continue. And we'll start right away with the upper side. You have surely seen the disassembly video. Otherwise, you will get it, linked directly above now. I had removed both covers because these two covers are connected here via this ventilation. And yes, we will first assemble the slide here. The partial load needle must now go in here. There is a small washer on the needle. That's it. And the nylon washer is also on it, and on top of it lies another small washer, so you can see everything there. This is the order in which it must be assembled here. And you have, yes, you can see it perfectly, 3 holes here. The needle must go in the middle. To prevent it from falling down, I'll try to do it horizontally, like this. So, all at once. Snap. And the needle is secured with this small plastic plug. It has an O-ring on it here, and it sits in a groove there. And there's also a small spring attached here. The spring is placed here. Snap, it gets a bit rusted in, so to speak. And now you can also grab this part directly with the needle nose pliers and set it in here. It then audibly clicks into place, and then you see it sits in there. Super fantastic. And the needle can move just a tiny bit against this small spring, but it doesn't go any further. So friends, an additional piece of information for you. Down here inside, this part is the atomizer from the nozzle holder of the main jet. It is sometimes included in the repair kits and sometimes not. So if you want to remove it, you have to push it down from above once the nozzle holder is already removed, of course. So if we look down here now, there it is. It then falls out here. And when you install it, please make sure it has a closed side and an open side. Do you see here? And the open side should face upwards. And that's exactly how it is installed. You simply let it fall in here, and then essentially when screwing in the nozzle holder, you push it upwards. Sometimes this can be a bit difficult. I want to see if it fits properly. Yes, it's seated correctly. And then, as mentioned, screw in the nozzle holder, and it will be in its place. I'm unscrewing here at the bottom of the nozzle holder, and if you look closely, you can see, yes, it needed to come out a little bit. That's how it should look in the end. Before we insert the slider, I spray it a bit with silicone spray, just so it slides smoothly here. I've linked the spray for you in the video description, and then let's get started here. The slider is inserted from the top here, it only goes in one direction, and you need to check below. I'll turn it like this, so that the needle also slides into the nozzle holder, like this. And furthermore, you need to make sure that the membrane sits properly in the groove with its edge. What do you do if the membrane has perhaps shrunk a little? This can happen if you disassemble something like this and perhaps leave it lying around for a long time before reassembling it. I'll link a video above with a way to remedy this situation. Let's continue here with the spring. The spring goes on here, and then we can already put the cover on. The springs need to be threaded onto these two black plastic nipples. So I'll do that here on both sides at the same time. A bit fiddly, but it works. There we go. The cover also has alignment pins here, which means it has to slide on correctly and fit snugly. And now the appropriate screws are screwed back in at these points. Here and here. I'll do that now and then continue with the small vacuum chamber of the PVLS system. I'll continue with the vacuum chamber of the PVLS system. Now the small diaphragm goes on here. This small plastic nipple goes on the diaphragm. On top of that, you see it fits together here. So here is a recess, and here is this small nipple. On top of that comes this small washer, and the spring sits back here in the lid. Yes. So everything has to be assembled in this order, like this, like this. And then, of course, we have to align the holes here, and then the two screws go in. And then you've completed this part as well. So folks, we're back at our float chamber, and we're continuing with the nozzle holder of the main jet, which is this one. The main jet is already screwed in at the top here, so it can't be confused with the other jet, which is available here in the same size. You see an O-ring on it, and now you're wondering, what's it doing there? You can't just screw it back together like that. This carburetor here will be placed on the shelf as a spare and will be equipped with a new sealing or repair kit when needed. I'm doing this now just for you, so you can see how it fits together. One more thing. I'll link a proper repair kit in the video description for you, and because the question keeps coming up, does the carburetor uncle make money from this? That's the really cool part. When you click on this link, you support us in maintaining and expanding our channel, and you also support a really great shop with excellent ratings. So let's get started. I take a bit of silicone spray and spray it everywhere in all the assembly openings where I need to work now. The nozzle holder of the main jet belongs in here, or I screw it in. Then I need the 8mm open end wrench. I can tighten it here. Please don't overdo it. It's just a very small thread and a pretty soft material. And now I hold it here again and tighten the nozzle here. So hold against it below with the open end wrench. Next, the idle jet. It looks like this, and it goes here in this spot. Sorry. There. It's not always easy for us to make sure everyone can see something, and the camera can also capture it. And then we have the nozzle, which is located here, and it is positioned here to limit the flow rate for the choke. So also screwed in, and it continues with the float needle valve. it gets a little extra silicone spray here. It sits in here and is held by a small screw with a wide collar. This is it, and I'm screwing it in now. We continue with the float and the float needle valve. It hangs here on this small metal tab. So I've slid it over here. Do you want to see? Secure it? Slightly tilt the thread. So, and this axle, which holds the float, goes here. I'll use my finger right away. Now make sure it doesn't fall off again. You can tilt the carburetor just a little bit. Now you need to thread it in here. This axle, which holds the float, goes here. I'll use my finger right away. Move it away again, then you can see it. It sits here in a recess where it fits exactly. Yes, and is held in place by a small screw that is screwed in here. I'll move my fingers away, then you can see something here again. So, this is how it looks. So that's where the screw goes in, of course, straight. So, and it holds this small float axle in place. With that, everything is securely in its position here. Now you can turn it over, again for safety, and check if this moves. If the float needle valve also moves. I'll try it. No, it will be difficult on this side. So everything must be free moving. And then the lid can already go on. Here, of course, please also take a new gasket from your sealing or repair kit. It only fits in one direction. It's a molded part. You can see this curve here, for example, which is also shaped here. Put the lid on and insert the 4 small screws. In the next step, we screw in the mixture screw. This is the one with the small tip. And indeed, this is the correct assembly order, the screw. On this screw sits the spring. And the screwdriver is magnetic. Okay. A small washer goes on top of that, and then comes an O-ring. I will assemble it now. This is the correct order, and then I'll show you how it is installed. The mixture screw is screwed in here. I will write the basic settings in the video description for you. A bit of silicone spray in, and I position the carburetor like this and insert the screw here. Then, if necessary, the O-ring, washer, and spring won't just fall uncontrollably downwards, but will stay in place. That means screw in the mixture screw on until it stops, using a bit of O, finesse, and then turn it back out. To the value, you can look up. And we continue with the choke. It is mounted here. Before I do that, I spray a bit of silicone spray here as well, so it slides smoothly. So, right in here. It's a 14mm hex. You can use a socket here, for example, or an open-end wrench. I screw it in by hand as far as it will go. And now it's naturally hard to reach with an open-end wrench. This works quite well. Don't tighten it too much. It's just a plastic part, and it doesn't need to be extremely tight yet. And then we can already attach the choke lever. Yes, these are elongated holes, and they need to fit exactly in this form here. Of course, I'll also apply a bit of silicone spray here. And now, the 2 plastic washers go on here. So, they ensure that it slides properly and can be operated easily. And finally, the 2 Phillips screws. You can tighten them here. It still moves. It's specifically designed this way to provide enough space for your operating mechanism, so it slides properly. Yes, folks, with that, the carburetor is properly assembled. Finally, please reattach the hoses from the entire vacuum system. You took a photo of it beforehand on my advice, so it should be quite easy. If you liked my video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and, of course, a subscription from you. I wish you lots of fun and success with the project and see you in the next video. Bye.